Okay, we're going to begin. First of all, you're all very welcome here this morning. My name is John Douglas. I'm the President of the Irish Congress of Trade Unions. And I'd just like to announce that this morning the Executive Council of the Irish Congress of Trade Unions met and endorsed the appointment of Patricia King as the General Secretary Designate of the Irish Congress of Trade Unions.
Well, the first thing I want to do is publicly congratulate Patricia on her appointment. It's hard to imagine anybody more qualified for this job. Patricia has 35 years as a trade union activist and as a senior official within the trade union movement, and very extensive experience of both the public and the private sectors of the economy. And those of you who report directly on industrial relations will know of her involvement in some very high-profile problems that have happened in recent years, from the Irish ferries, I suppose, in 2005, to more recently the Bosch and Lawn dispute, where she is widely and justly credited, I think, with having maintained that employment in Ireland. So there's nobody more qualified from that point of view to take on this role. I mean, in terms of her own senior position, she is currently Vice President of Siptu, her own union, one of the three people who constitute the leadership of that union, and she's and has been for a number of years a Vice President of the Congress. She has extensive experience too, I think, in public service with a number of bodies. She, on 2 occasions, was a member of the RTE Authority. She has been a member of the DAA since 2010 and PUBL since 2010. From its inception, she was a member of the Advisory Board of the National Employment Rights Authority. She's been on the National Roads Authority, and more recently she was appointed as the Congress representative on the National Apprenticeship Council. So she is somebody who is widely experienced in Irish public life and in trade unionism and in the working of the economy and in civil administration. So we're very fortunate, I think, within the movement to have somebody of her calibre to take over the position, and I certainly wish her well. I can say at this point that it's not an easy position, but nevertheless it is a very rewarding one in terms of the work which has to be done, and I know and I believe that Patricia will be a great success.
Thanks, President. Obviously I'm greatly honoured that the Executive Council have endorsed my candidature for the task as General Secretary, and undoubtedly when I was thinking about it, I knew that it was a daunting, and it is a daunting task. The 3 principles really that govern me and my activity in the trade union movement over the years, and I get up every day and I think these 3 things. It's what sends me to work, and it's what really motivates me to do the job. And the first is that every worker is entitled to have a good prospect, to have a fair rate of pay and terms and conditions, and every worker should be entitled to that, and everything I do actually is underpinned by that principle. The second one is that workers should have the entitlement collectively through their trade union to negotiate on their terms and conditions with their employer without fear. Unfortunately, that is not the case in either jurisdictions, but that is something that I hope I have so far contributed to trying to positively address that, and I will continue to fight to do that. And the third thing, no matter where you work, every worker is entitled to respect. Not every worker is unfortunately afforded respect in their workplace, but every worker is entitled to it. So those are the really 3 main pieces that underpin, for my term of office, and those 3 simple principles won't change, and everything I do will be governed on those 3 simple principles. The movement, by David retiring from it, the movement will be losing a really, really effective leader, and I'm very conscious of that, taking on this task. The other thing I would say to you is that for the last 5 to 6 years, all of the emphasis has been on the economics of the country. And the trade union movement was very, very heavily involved in that debate, and indeed around finding solutions. But I think now the focus is going to have to be very strongly on the economics for households. Because in the last 6 years there has been huge adjustment for workers, ranging from extraordinary pay reductions to all sorts of adjustments in families' lives by virtue of having less money. Welfare recipients, youth in this country have really got a very bad deal in this. So I think in Northern Ireland there are major challenges on foot of the propositions, particularly coming from the UK government. So the workers in Northern Ireland, the trade union movement in Northern Ireland, are going to be faced with very strong challenges in the coming years. Actually, this movement is very strong, and it's very strong in all the key areas it needs to be. And one of the tasks is to ensure that we continue to build that strength, and that we have the vibrant movement that, because workers in Ireland across the state deserve to be well represented and deserve to be able to maximise their collective power. And we've been working really hard to ensure that we have the proper legislation, the proper instruments to allow that to happen. I have a lot to learn, but every day you get up, the day I get up and say, well, I've nothing to learn today, I may as well not bother, because every day you learn from somebody else. That's how I have lived my life, that's how I have operated in my career, and I intend to have it no different. So I'm really honoured to do it. I'm conscious, obviously, that I'm the first woman that has been appointed. I had that honour in Siptu as well. I don't intend to carry that onerously or anything else. I think it's just an added honour in the piece, and I'm glad today that this day has come, and I have vowed to the executive that I will work as hard as I can to make it a success. Thanks.